Yeah. So what I was saying is, so as I visited my parents, I was explaining to my mom about like what we are doing differently, and said like, you know what, like you've been reading this Gita every day, so the thing now we are looking into is like what each chapter, each title means, right? And I was telling her like we are talking about jnana, karma, sannyasa, yoga. All jnana is there, karma is there, sannyasa is there, everything is there. And then I was asking her, okay, you tell me what is your understanding of this. And then as we were discussing, then we realized like chapter 3 is karma yoga, and that also covers whatever we thought like we discussed for this chapter 4. And chapter 5 is also very close to this. So I was trying to figure out like even uh, uh, Krishna like for some reason stopped there and like kept highlighting this, right? He like three chapters on like around one area, one topic.
One
So
perspective, Sarananji, uh,
mm,
as far as the original composition is concerned,
uh-huh.
it appears that it was not necessarily divided into chapters.
Okay.
The original composition by Vedavyasa.
Uh-huh.
As the time progressed, different acharyas and the different, uh, you know, during the different times, as the teaching methodology started developing around the composition,
Mm-hmm.
it was through various kinds of discussions, these chapter names have evolved. So in a
Mm-hmm.
way, it is a contribution by the uh, later on acharyas. That is in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the historical reference to the titles,
Mm-hmm.
be it as it may be. But the question is still relevant. What you pose
Still,
is very relevant.
then even if it is, even if they didn't divide it, even without division, it's a long three times of
Yeah,
18, right? Versus
yeah,
it's a long,
yeah,
uh, yeah, part of the Gita, which is focused on karma, around karma, which is focused around karma.
yeah.
And so, yeah, so yeah, I couldn't exactly stick to one area when I was trying to explain what chapter 3 meant. Because karma yoga, like to summarize in single line, I said, yeah, uh, uh, do your do your duty without expecting result, or like without looking at the without thinking about the result, right? Which relieves you of suffering, and you are supposed to do what you have to do, your duty in a perfect way, right? Like because usually uh, we say like do it with work with passion, and like the um, the usually the end result is highlighted a lot while the action is happening throughout. It's the end result is like reminded and like stressed a lot to say like this is what we are trying to achieve, and that's the goal, and like keep that in mind and keep doing it. um but here it says like uh, do it without expecting, and I've seen that at least at work very difficult to have such um, um, people around you who can actually do without, uh, or like I think the end result always I have seen that kind of brings some disturbance, because even if they do at the end, like I see that like, oh, it didn't go as per my expectation, and even if I try to tell them that it's over, it's past, now you have the next thing to do, it kind of remains as a baggage. It's as I see people carry the history as a baggage and continue the journey. And so it is not when you are walking with them, right? I can see clearly that they have this baggage, and that baggage can be like few months or like few years. of all that, like, this is, you know what, this is how it is, and even if I do, this is what it is, right? That baggage people carry. And yeah, so I try to highlight it, but there I see that, like, the importance of this particular teaching, uh, how it can help, right? Yeah. So that's where, like, I felt like karma yoga is like, just like, can be the chapter can be said in one line, right? But and when it comes to jnana karma sannyasa yoga, we were discussing, like, the same, um there the discussion was around to do one karma, um, like, like, we have to, every karma leads to this pava or punya, right? And so that we were trying to discuss, right? So like, one is like, um, adharmic karma, which is completely said, given no. And then even the dharmic, yeah, Shubhaj, you were trying to say something?
One that you cannot even do. Yeah. What you
Yeah,
meant.
right.
Yeah.
And then, like, dharmic karma, then it can be like, again, sakamya karma, like doing it with expectation, which is like maybe offering in a temple, like, if we want this, and like doing, or the yajna is done for this result, right? Right. So that kind of, it is allowed, but then, like, it is still going to bring uh, power punya, right? And then this nishkamya karma comes, where, like, do it as a pure offering, and like, don't uh, go for that result, right? You whatever result comes, just make it as offering. But then, like, when you are trying to do it as offering, it has to be like, uh, you always give the best as offering. So which means, even the work has to be in the best, purest form, to be able to be offered, right? So that kind of tells you, like, how to do it, because you are going to offer it, right? So we were discussing on that, like, do it as a nishkamya karma, right? And so that, like, you don't accumulate is punya, and like, which leads to more births again, right? So, and there it was like, so one way we could see is, like, we are doing karma sannyasa, where, like, we are trying to um, uh, give away, or like, give away the result, right? Which is like, if you do, don't go for the result. The second sannyasa was like, can I even not do karma, right? So that is another way, like, where we were interpreting karma sannyasa, right? Not doing the karma itself, which is, again, Krishna says it's not easy for anyone to do. And like, the best is recommended one is to do your karma based on your varna, or like, whatever your family situation, what it has taken you to, right? Do it, but then, like, uh, offer the result of the action, right? um, that was, again, like, only in the karma yoga again. But then, like, when we can add jnana part to it, which is like knowing who you are, and then, like, when you try to do the same karma, it takes a very different form, which is like, um, uh, every being is a manifestation of the same Brahman, and Brahman alone is the real, and right. And so all the forms that appear are all the same, his manifestation only. And so whatever karma we do, it is like at the end, uh, it is always like has to be like helpful to someone. And the highlight was, don't do it as a selfish, like doing something for my good, rather um, do it for the welfare of the society, where the seva part comes in, right? So that's how we were trying to we were discussing around the jnana, adding the jnana part to the karma, right? While doing the result is a sannyasa, right? And not as a full sannyasa, where it may not be possible for everyone. uh, that's how we're going. And then like the next chapter comes karma. I think sannyasa. I think it's karma sannyasa, right? So so almost like the boundary is that the line is kind of there, not there. Yeah, I wanted to discuss today on that.
So is the focus on fifth chapter, or you want everybody to focus? What is the question? Can you frame the
Yeah. So the understanding wise, right? So is the understanding still right? Jnana karma sannyasa yoga. Is it not the karma sannyasa as in like dropping the karma, not doing, but rather doing it, but only dropping the result and offering it. And when you're doing it, do it with the jnana of like atmak jnana. Who am I? And have the idea of that the atman. And then when you do that, it becomes more of the welfare to the society.
no,
Is
no,
that
yeah,
is the jnana karma?
sorry for interrupting you, but
Ah.
can you frame it in a one or two sentences? What is the question that you are raising, which
Hmm.
everybody should contemplate and give their view on?
Okay. So again, the question is around this title of the fourth chapter,
Title of
Jnana
the fourth
Karma
chapter.
Sannyasa Yoga. Okay.
Okay. So we are not moving to fifth chapter today. We
Yeah,
are
because it is similar, very similar to this chapter. I want to ensure that we get it. I want to ensure everyone has the understanding right before we go to the next chapter.
okay. Yeah. Let me type whatever the question that you are going to identify. Yeah. Let's frame the question, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So the title, which is Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, um, what is the sannyasa part here, and how is it related to karma? And again, what is the jnana part here, and how is it related to the karma? The
Okay.
focus is still the karma. How is the jnana and the sannyasa um,
So
are related to karma?
how is jnana and
Sannyasa are relating to the karma, because
are
karma is the main thing which a jiva is doing every moment, right?
okay.
So
So this is the
yeah,
first question. How is
yeah,
jnana and sannyasa related to karma? That's the first question.
yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
framed
but
correctly?
this leads to the next chapter title. Okay, so let's, yeah, I think this one question is enough. We can go through it, and then like from here we can move. Yeah.
Okay. And I want to verify, is this the right framing that you have in your mind? How is jnana and sannyasa related to karma? Is this what you are asking?
Yeah, and the context to the chapter 4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So chapter 4 is the background
yeah,
for
yeah.
this question, which is jnana karma sannyasa yoga. And the
Mm-hmm.
question you are asking all of us to contemplate on is, how is jnana and sannyasa related to karma?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And with the background of chapter 3, where karma yoga, our understanding is uh, do your karma without expecting the result, without thinking about the result, right? But do it in the uh, best possible manner.
Yeah. Okay. So this was the third chapter, main
That's the
summary.
context, and from there, like, yeah,
Do your karma without expectations of result.
yeah.
And from there we move on to chapter 4. And now you are and last session we reviewed it.
Mm.
And now you want everyone to reflect on how
Yeah.
jnana and sannyasa related to karma.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. Yeah. Anybody wants to go?
Okay.
Santosh ji is not here, so Isha ji.
I was just going through participants list. Where is Santosh ji?
I know. I got you. Uh,
It's like, when we have to start answering one essay question, we just want to peep into somebody's paper for starting problem. Oh, yeah. Let me try, Saravanan-ji, how much I have understood. See, now, if we are going through that Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga part, the fourth chapter. So, we understood that Karma Yoga, yeah, we have to perform our duty and not expect favorable result or not even be bothered about the results. We just have to do our prescribed work.
mm.
So that was it. And when it comes to Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, I feel this here, from what I heard you when Vijayji was typing, is you asked what is the sannyasa part and how is it related to karma, and what is the jnana part and how is that related to karma.
Mm.
Right. So here now, see, there are lots of ways where for a realization to take place, or conscious or moksha, whatever you call it. One is that it's a sannyasa part where you don't do anything. So you sacrifice your life just for that, not do this, what do you call that, normal work, not get into the samsara part of it, and live a yogi's life. That is one way. But that is very hard in today's people adapt that because the karma part becomes tough. Doing your work without expecting results become tough, or sometimes you just want to get away from responsibility also. You can it'll be a very fake uh, kind of a world, that sannyasa yoga, in case it's not practiced properly. You know So now, karma sannyasa yoga, as we said, when we join together, it becomes like, what do you say? You are an yogi. That means you are doing everything for the Lord itself, or you are doing everything in case for the higher goal, but you are doing the work which you are born to do. So that becomes your, if you add your karma to your sannyasa, that's your third chapter. Now, if you come to your fourth chapter, the jnana part, I just feel that it is a bit more knowledge on what do you call, the results, or what you are gaining out of it. So the karma part itself, we already discussed that whatever the results are, it is not meant for you. It is, you're not doing anything about it. Whatever has to happen is happening, and you have no control about it. So
You are not doing it.
yeah. So when I feel the higher, that's a karma part, but jnana, I feel, how do I say it? See, for example, today my child was reading biology. Okay, he just came and told me, I forgot the word, some pentoxide, something, which it's a type of enzyme which breaks that and which releases oxygen and water inside your body. I really don't forgot the term. Okay, so he says, Mama, see, 1 million things break in a second inside our body. If it doesn't happen that fast, we cannot live. Okay, so that is a natural process that is happening without we doing anything about it. Okay,
I'll come at 8,
okay.
15.
I'm so okay. That's that is where we say that things, the knowledge that there are things that is not in our control, there are things that is happening for us to perform the karma. So our karma is just what we are going to do, given our body and given our intellect. But there is much more that is happening internally so that we can function the karma properly. I feel that kind of knowledge is what is jnana karma sannyasa yoga. I don't know if I could put it what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. So on the sannyasa part, like, so what is that you are dropping? I didn't get it very clearly.
I mean, dropping in the sense?
Sannyasa, you said the real sannyasa is not doing anything.
No, you can, there are lots of ways of getting into moksha, no? So you can just say that I'm not in this samsara part of life, and I like to be a yogi, or like those days, just go and meditate and like siddhis or like that. But then there is lot of chances for that being misinterpreted, because most of the time you are getting scared of your karma and you're running away. So that is why the easier part of in Kali Yuga is not to only when things are going tough. Also, people go into only the sannyasa part of yoga, right? So when they are not able to do and stuff. So karma sannyasa is just be where you are and do your job and do everything right. And do not expect any results. Okay, the
But
results
that is the karma yoga we discussed in chapter 3.
yoga.
But here he's adding one more thing, sannyasa to karma.
So do it in a very, what do you call, holistic way, I feel, is karma sannyasa yoga. So whatever you do,
Okay.
so I feel whatever you're doing, you just do it knowing that, see, there are many ways of doing. There is atheism way of doing, and there are so many other ways of doing. So I feel karma sannyasa yoga, you know that, there is a creator and you're being created, and then you perform the action according to the set rules of whatever you're born to do as a human.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we'll refine it further with after hearing.
Yeah.
Right. And and sorry, the jnana part was
I feel jnana is the
like
knowledge.
you are I'm not doing it. It is just happening.
Not
That's what you said.
we
Like
know
the body.
happening, but I feel that even for us to do our karma yoga, we need certain knowledge. How do I say that?
Yeah, that not is it that knowledge that you acquire through science? How to operate a computer, how to talk, how to
No,
cook.
it's definitely not. I'll just try to work it in my head and come back, Sarun.
Okay.
with
Okay.
what-
Okay. Krishna ji.
Yeah. So yeah, jnana, how it is. Yeah. So jnana is something the knowledge which we that's eternal science. I can say not science, eternal knowledge. So how does it related to karma? So karma is that any action we do, like the jnana is something which says about the real truth and why we are here and how life is and how it should be led. So having that jnana and performing any action as a yajna, right? That is karma. And the knowledge is like do any action without
getting attached to, or like, yeah, without worrying about the results. That's the jnana part I'm thinking. Sannyasa is ability, or having this jnana and ability to viveka, what to say, distant guys, right? Like um, between between the mind thoughts and what really it is. How could I phrase it? Having that viveka, right? So that's a sannyasa. I feel sannyasa in terms.
Having the viveka of what? Viveka is like knowledge.
Yeah, ability to disengage between what I put. I'm not finding the right word.
Take your time.
Yeah.
But you remember the sannyasa explanation which Vijayji gave last, or like in the last few sessions?
The last session I was not there, but I do. I mean, I did listen about sannyasa.
Hmm.
Yeah. It is.
Okay, maybe we'll come back. You
Yeah.
can try to form your um, answer again. Satishji?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, Hari Om Sarvanath. I mean,
Yeah.
the purpose of our life, as part of the reason that we have on this earth, is to perform some action. And for that action, we need some knowledge or some skills. And through the Jnana Yoga, we develop that skills. And through the Karma Yoga, we do that selfless action. And with Sannyasa Yoga, I believe it is renunciation. Like, don't get carried away by the results, or don't get influenced by the results. And with the results, maybe it could be positive or negative. So don't get influenced. Drop that ego, or drop that desire, and leave it to the Paramatma, because we are just an instrument for getting stuff established, and it's a culmination of all these three paths. So that's what Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga tries to convey.
So you said purpose of life is to do some karma. Why? Like, why do some karma at all? Like, why is that a purpose? What?
We Action seems to be the real purpose. I mean, we can't keep quiet. So there should be some action. I mean, so it is some reason that we are here, and that reason maybe we are not aware, but in this process, we try to identify and deliver the action that is expected out of us.
Okay. So your understanding is we are here for some reason, and identify that reason and do that karma.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I think we will. Okay. Arjunji, are you there?
I'm there. See, the reason why it's known as in my opinion, Gnana Karma Yoga, Sannyasa Yoga is, see, first thing is when you say Jnana, like whatever one is to perform an action without the knowledge of right understanding. That is, what is the right understanding? There could be one is everything is me oriented. That is like I want this, I want that, I want to make it happen. I am the person who's doing this. That could be a me oriented karma. Okay. And it is centered around the self. And through that me oriented, if it's there, then we can go back to the first chapter where it starts with the mamakara and ahankara. which are two things which in turn causes all the miseries in life.
Mm.
So whatever we are doing, if we do with the right understanding, the jnana,
Mm.
that can drop. And that jnana is nothing but I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. So if I can realize, if I realize that, and I realize the fact that I am that supreme consciousness, and then what happens, whatever action is performed, it becomes like I'm using my body as an instrument, I'm using my mind as an instrument, I'm using my intellect as an instrument. And the instrument are not me. The instrument has got a purpose to serve, and I use that instrument to serve that purpose. It is like the car is there to take me to a destination, but car itself is not me. Okay, and so car has got a purpose to take me to a destination. But if or if my leg, if somebody's leg is broken, it's a crutch. Now crutch is just like an instrument. You are having the crutch. One is having the crutch so that that person can move around with the crutch. Now, even after plaster has been removed, if a person feels that I am the crutch, then what happens? He or she is not able to move freely or go around freely. Then the crutch in turn becomes an object of limitation rather than going with uh, becoming something a person of possibilities. Now, this jnana is nothing but that everything what I have, what I think is me, is nothing but an instrument which needs to be used for a specific purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the specific purpose could be removing the blockages, removing the limitations, removing all those things. That could be the specific purpose of that, and so I can move forward. So the whole game is to attain the jnana that all are instruments, and that instruments are not me, whether it's intellect or my body or my mind. That's one thing which are. And when you talk of sannyasa yoga, when you talk of sannyasa, what is sannyasa is nothing but to drop or to burn uh, the wrong understanding which I have got about myself. And in that burning, the whole thing, fire emerges when something gets burnt. What remains is nothing but that is which is not me. And that which is not me is nothing but the body is not me, the mind is not me, the intellect is not me. That is what happens. And the right deposit, sannyasa is samyamvyasa, which is nothing but the right deposit. And the right deposit is nothing but like the deposit of having this kind of what a discussion we are having, the deposit of like which could be through uh, we can shravana or then it manana, nididhyasa. And those deposits when it comes, those deposits gives me the jnana that who really I am and who really I am not. So that's the thing. So just to quote an example, there are two examples I'd like to put. One is I was walking in Tirunelveli and suddenly I saw the mountain of Tirunelveli. I don't know what happened. Some dots got connected. And I asked myself, what is that I am actually doing in life? And I said, I'm not doing anything. Whatever is happening is an offering to the Lord, which I saw the mountain and found that as a Lord. And my work is nothing but an offering, like a Naivedya, which I'm offering. And that Naivedya, when I'm offering, what is happening is I may give apple, I may give banana, I may give dry fruit. But when I get it from as a prasadam, I may not get an apple, I may not get a dry fruit, I may not get a fruit which are given, but I may get a banana. So that banana I take as a prasad, and I will not complain for that which has come as a prasad. And that is also a part of jnana. That's also a part of jnana, which is nothing but uh, that I am here to offer it to the Lord, whatever it is in service or whatever I am as a person, I need to be doing as my daily duties, and that's an offering. Whatever may come in return is the prasadam, which I gracefully and dignifiedly accept it with no complaints, but with lot of gratitude. So that is one of my realization. Second one is when I went for Art of Living recently for 13 days retreat, 13 days Panchakarma treatment. All the while I felt that treat the other person the way I need to be treated. And that was the theme I was living in. When I went there, 10th standard and 12th standard people are the therapists who have been trained on how to give treatment to the person, either through massage or through various processes. Now, what they were doing every day with a lot of good intention, I could see the intentionality in them. With a lot of intention was they used to touch our ashtangas of the patient, that my ashtangas, finally touch my feet after the Dhanvantri prayer and do namaskar to me and do the process. Now, what they made me feel was treat the other person as God, even though that person is a mortal being or a human being. Okay. And when you say God, treat the other person with reverence and respect, whoever that person may be, immaterial of who he is. And that also was a part of the jnana which I got. So, like that, we can say jnana is nothing but the right understanding. And with the right understanding, when I look at everything being an instrument which needs to be used at that point of time for a specific purpose, and not get attached to that instrument thinking that is the thing which who I am, or that is the thing which belongs to me, or that is the thing which my that is what that again becomes moha, or that again becomes that that I cannot live without it, or it is nothing but me. It's a part of me, and that again limits me like the crutch. So this is what I would like to share.
Okay. Lot of good points. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Just one, maybe it's to do with, uh, I'm just picking on the statement, but you may have the understanding. When you said, I am using BMI as the instrument, who is that I you're referring to who is using the BMI as instrument?
See, one thing is by theory, I can say I am that witness conscious, from the big I point of view. Okay. At the same time, in the practical sense, as a day-to-day daily living, I'm yet to realize that.
Okay. Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. Yeah.
Simple, very simple, Sharanji. Yesterday there was a session on Spandakarika where Prabhuji was giving key note address on Shiva Sutra and Spandakarika. Okay, and the person who was releasing the book, he was giving 5 o'clock the program started, 4:30 the program started, and they were talking about consciousness, being in the level of consciousness, nothing to get impacted and all the stuff. Suddenly I get a call at 5:30, still in the session, that my house help has attempted as committing suicide. You know what happened at that point of time? Forget our Spanda Karikas, forget about Shiva Sutra, everything you forget. Now my tension began what to be done there. So in the drawing room, in a very comfortable AC, everything was, wow, what Spanda Karika, such a nice thing. But when the practical reality hit about the survival of life itself, then I was taken away.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that means in the battleground of life, can I live with the witness conscious is the next thing.
Yeah.
And
And
yesterday,
what perfect setup here. Gita was delivered in the battleground, not in the AC room, not in the classroom.
I think that also is the context of Gita itself,
Yeah,
that the whole reality of life is in the battleground
the
and not in the
battleground.
drawing room.
When things are not going right at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in a way, yesterday I did not, I did not live with that conscious.
Mm,
However, within 10 minutes, I was back living with that.
mm,
And especially when they asked me to sign a consent form where I had to sign on behalf of her, no family members was there. There are two things. One is legality and one is humanity. The blood pressure was 280 for about this lady. And they said anytime the hemorrhage can happen, you have to sign the consent form. Legality wise, if I sign the consent form, if she were to pass away, then the whole case will come on me.
mm,
Okay. Now the distinction. What do I do? Then the question came, who am I to decide this? I am not that who is like, I am not that intellect who needs to decide.
mm,
Let the universe decide. you know so these were the, what you can say, various situations which tested that theory, which
mm,
I know, am I living that?
mm.
And yesterday I didn't live that.
Yeah. You had you have to use the right intention and do it, and the result is leave
Yeah,
it to.
now all those things will happen when kama, krodha, bhaya, lobha, moha, okay, all these arishad vargas are 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 not there in space, then the witness conscious can shine.
Mm,
But when Bhaya took over of my, for Bhaya,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
was the thing, fear. So
yeah.
that means the moment fear came, became the witness conscious cloud. The cloud came in front of witness conscious.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah,
So this is what it is.
yeah. Thank you, Arjun ji.
Pleasure.
I think we will discuss maybe with Vijay ji again. We will revise. Shubha ji.
I have nothing much to add, Saravanan. All I can say
No,
is when I
uh,
am doing karma, I can
uh,
say in one sentence what I feel in my
mhm,
personally.
uh-huh.
When I am doing karma, I need the jnana to know about sannyasa to do our daily activities. This is what I see.
Okay, that's a one-liner. Mahavakya you have got. You need to know the
Let's capture it. Let everybody see it. Repeat it, please.
When I am doing karma,
When
I am doing karma,
I am doing karma,
I need the jnana
I need the jnana
to know about sannyasa,
to know about sannyasa,
sannyasa, which is the right deposit of mind,
which is the right deposit of mind.
to do all my daily activities.
it is the karma.
Yeah.
So karma, okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
that
that's what karma. All the daily
All
activities.
daily activities.
so karma is equal to all
Daily activities.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe one Mahavakya Vichara can be done then. So
Super.
Vijayji, I got multiple explanations, and I felt with this one title, what I could hear is like the overall understanding of all. It may not be. I don't think it was limited to this particular chapter, but the overall understanding. I think I got from everyone.
Yeah. Is there a viewpoint that you have that you want to project?
Uh, so I was trying to focus on this particular chapter itself. What came out of this chapter? Uh, yeah, So at the end, I think what matters is the overall understanding. If you, yeah, so I don't, I already talked in the beginning. Maybe you can just
Sure.
summarize again once what you gave last session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vijayji, before you start, I just want to share one small story. Okay, this
Sure,
was
sure, please.
shared of my. I heard it from a Didi when she was saying about karma and all.
Definitely.
There are, I think you would have heard of this. There are three characters. So for we can give any name. So I'll just give the easy one: Amar, Akbar, Anthony. There are three people who are thieves. Okay, all the three are thieves. They are very notorious. They all the three are friends. They do all kind of criminal activities. They'll never get caught. Finally, one day they get caught and they are put in jail, the toughest jail, say Tihar jail. Okay, these three are put in three different units of Tihar jails, and they're left. They're punished. So, say Anthony, he says, "Okay, fine. Jail is not all that bad. I'm getting food. I have clothes. There are so many people. Now, let me think. What can I do to live properly?" So then he will start doing all the work, whatever is been given to him. He will do it very nicely, and then he will start. Helping his fellow inmates also to perform their duties, and yeah, because of which he gets rewarded good food and he's happy. He's very content in the jail, saying it's not all that bad. I'm getting all my work. I do all my work very nicely. I make everybody happy around me. I get rewarded, and they are very happy with his behavior, and they give him the best prisoner award. So he's very happy. See, I got an award also and kind. And then you have Akbar. He is not able to mend his way. He forgot why he's in jail. There also he robs people's food, and he robs. He gets into fights and everything. So nothing is changing with him. He gets punished for what they hit him, but still nothing what they do or where they put him. He's able to mend his ways. And then comes Amar. He realizes, okay, you know what, jail is not a very nice place to stay, but what do I do to get out of the jail? First thing what I have to do is I have to do my prescribed duties. So I have to do my duties because this is a punishment. So and when I'm staying here and I'm eating food, so I will better do what I'm supposed to do. So he will do his all his work. He gets reformed to a better person. He will do every work that is needed for him to get out of the jail also. So he
Mm.
will start writing, saying that I become a better person to a higher authority, saying, see, I've changed. I have visions for my life. I want to go out, get into a nice job and everything. So over a period of time, if you see, Anthony is comfortable. He never wants to come out of jail. Akbar is not changing so that they will not throw him out of the jail. But Amar, he started working. He used his intelligence, I would say, to perform what is needed to be performed, and he comes out.
Mm.
So when you see, we are in a proper jail, whether it's a golden or anything, it's a jail. So what we have to do is come out, and what we do is we have to do, I think, both all karma with jnana, so that we get out. So I don't know how well you use it.
Perfect. The story is enough.
Very nice. Very nice story. Wonderful. So, Sarananji, one little thing, right?
Yeah.
So, if you see here, third chapter is named as Karma Yoga. Okay, and fourth chapter, right now, from whatever we know here, is known as Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. And fifth
Karma Sannyasa.
is known as Karma Sannyasa Yoga, right? Yeah. Essentially, Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Correct?
Yeah.
So now, in a way, in the third one, some kind of a simple equation. Third one, there is only karma, and how to be in union. I'm doing whatever I'm doing is being taught. Okay. So in the fourth chapter, the something else is getting attached to this karma
Mm.
as a beginning and the end.
Mm.
Only in the sentence formation,
Mm.
case formation,
Yeah.
jnana, sannyasa. And then in the 5th chapter, only karma is remaining. Karma sannyasa is remaining.
Jnana is dropped.
Jnana is dropped. Okay. So in a way, 5th chapter is essentially saying drop karma also. Correct?
Karma sannyasa.
Karma sannyasa. Drop
Mm.
karma also.
Mm.
And 3rd chapter started with karma.
Do karma.
Yeah. How do you drop karma? You have jnana, and through jnana you attain sannyasa. Then 5th chapter is saying you can drop karma. So when karma is dropped at the end of the 5th chapter, for example, what remains? Yoga remains.
Uh,
Okay. So it's like a classical story in the Vedanta.
uh,
It's like we can connect to what Isha ji said. Okay, so let's say you are in a jail,
mm.
and for the moment, let's assume it's a wonderful transparent jail.
Mm.
When you look, you don't see any difference. It's fully transparent jail.
Mm.
You don't even know that you are inside the jail.
Mm.
It's a nice jail. It's completely transparent.
Mm.
And then somewhere, somehow, luckily, maybe let's say, like in the Matrix movie, he's in such a dream, right?
Mm.
And the dream is so wonderful that he doesn't even know that he's in the dream.
Dream.
Those of you who know the Matrix movie,
Mm.
in the beginning of the movie, there is a life going on, and this fellow Neo, he receives somebody in his office, and he takes him through some journey, and he gives him two choices. Here is red pill, and here is blue pill. If you take red pill, you will come out of your dream. If you take a blue pill, you'll continue. I don't know whether the red and blue examples are correct there, but this is what I remember. But one of the pill will take him out of the dream. Another pill will continue to let him continue in his dream.
Mm.
So now Neo hasn't yet woken up from the dream. So Neo, the main character, he's been given two choices. Here is one pill that will bring you out of the dream and help you see the reality. And another pill will let you continue in your dream. Now, I haven't yet seen what is outside of my dream.
Mm.
I don't even know what life can be without dream, because everything seems to be hunky dory. I'm getting up, I'm going to office, I'm getting money,
Mm.
I'm doing work.
Yeah.
Everything is going okay. Of course,
Mm.
there are sometimes when the boss yells at me, sometimes wife screams at me, sometimes something else happens, but it's okay. That's what life is. And I can vent it out with my friends, and they give me some advice, and somehow the jugglery of life is going on, the movement of life is going on. Right,
Mm.
and that's why we have various kinds of advisors. And if at all the problem in my mind becomes too much, there is also a great fellow sitting there called as somebody who can look into my mind, maybe give me some good advice. We call him as a psychiatrist.
Mm.
So like that, life is going on. So what is problem? He doesn't know why I should take this pill, but somehow he takes the courage, and he takes the pill. When
Mm.
he takes the pill for some time, he realizes that he is actually sleeping in a cocoon,
Mm.
and uh, machines have plugged into his neural system.
Mm.
And essentially, whatever he's living his life is nothing but a big dream.
Mm.
He's going to office, whatever, earning money, all that is a big dream. He's
Mm.
actually nothing but a body in a cocoon. And why it has been put into a cocoon by these machines is because this is a human being who
Mm.
generates bioelectricity. And
Mm.
machines need electricity to run. So they're using humans as power of the source of energy. So
Mm.
that's the premise of the movie. Anyway, it's a nice Vedanta premise also.
Mm.
When I'm inside the dream, how the hell do I know that what is outside the dream? How life can be outside my dream?
No.
No way. So, however, However, in the dream, there are different situations coming. So if, let's say, the situations that are coming in the dream are good house, good husband, good wife, good children, good career, good health, everything is hunky dory, everything is perfect. You wish for it and it is there. Then there is no need to kind of do anything at all, right? That is the background of Siddhartha. That is the exact background of Siddhartha. His father was so afraid that, because as soon as this child was born, somebody came and told that your child is going to be the guru, showing light for millions, and he will take sannyasa. And his father was a king. He was very afraid. Who will look after my kingdom? Forget about others. Who will look after my kingdom? Nothing doing. So let me make sure that, even the faintest idea of sannyasa doesn't enter his head. So no spiritual teaching, nothing doing. He was brought up in a very lavish environment. Whatever he wished for was given to him. Nothing around him. There was only wonderful health, always lavish food, lavish environment, whatever, right? He had not seen any kind of a pain or suffering. But the thing about life is, something within you is not going to keep quiet. Something within you is going to feel there's something missing. Because the fundamental point about that kind of a life also is, even when everything is great, if that inner feeling of satisfaction is there, if that inner satisfaction of our inner completeness is not felt, life is going to still feel very dry. What is this? How many times can I eat that mango? How many times do I wear that gold sari? Even if it may be made out of billions of rupees. One of my friend's father visited US when I was in US. And one day evening, I was talking to him. And somehow what he said continues to linger on in my mind. I asked him, Uncle, how do you feel? Don't you think US is great? So I said, yeah, I see, what a wonderful house, what a wonderful street. Wow, everybody seems to have a car. Even the janitor comes in the car. It's all nice. But what I found is, he used to work in urban water supply. He was an engineer in urban water supply, and he used to work in Mysore. He said, in my office in Mysore, I have this, chaprasi who just comes in a cycle. Every day evening at 5:30, he goes in a cycle. He buys a few vegetables. He goes home. He makes his meal. He eats his meal. And I find that, my son, his son was in US. My son also comes home, but he opens the fridge and he eats the meal. They don't have any time. For almost a week, they cook all the things and they heat and they eat. I wonder who's really having a good time. So I'm also wondering all these days, who's really having a good time in life? Is all the lavishness equivalent of the good time? What really makes the good time? What is that enables somebody to be at peace with all situations of life? So the same situation happened to Siddhartha. The moment he stepped out, he said, there is something missing. I have to see. What is that? Why am I not allowed outside of this? So the moment he stepped out, he saw the three things are essentially the three things that are natural and universal. One is jara, old age, mrityu, death. Another one is ill health, anarogya. He saw these three things, and they hit him like tufan. But for you and me, they're not hitting like a tufan. Why? That is life, is your and my way of looking at life. But for him, please see, it's like, for the first time when I went to US, my jaws dropped. I thought, wow, what a clean country. It feels like even in the bathroom, somebody can go and sit and eat food. That much clean. Even the streets are so clean. You can sit anywhere. If you sit anywhere, somebody will come and put you into jail. That's a different story. But it feels like you can sit anywhere. So, wow, it's like eyes dropped, jaws dropped. That is the effect of first time. Okay, after a few days, no, it all started feeling like, yo, what is there? Same. Okay, so I go to city one called Minneapolis. I go to city two called Kansas. I go to city three called Boston. I go to so many cities. Every city feels very similar. People from some 30, 40 miles, they come to something called the downtown. Downtown is what? Big, tall buildings where, hardly there are some gardens or anything. People always are in some concrete places and they go back. Come weekend, oh, I'm busy. What? Shopping, babysitting, taking my child to karate class, and then Sunday afternoon. Oh, Sunday afternoon is when all the Indians meet, and what do you do? Eat and gossip about politics. So after some time, that whole wonderful life, what felt like a wonderful life, started feeling like, array, it is simply repeating. It's simply repeating. Something is not complete. So like that, for Siddhartha, it hit like a tufan. Wow, what is this? I'm living in a cocoon. I'm living in a cocoon. That was a red pill that Siddhartha took. Neo took that red pill and he came out of he did not yet come out of his complete cocoon. Okay. But Siddhartha realized that this is not how life should be. There must be something more to life than this. Like that brings you and me to a particular standpoint in life. And that is what the context for you and me to question karma itself. Otherwise, you and I are constantly involved in doing. You and I don't even ask the question, is doing even necessary? Is
What
doing
do we do?
even
What?
necessary is not even the question. I have to do. I have to study. I have to help my child study. He has to have a aim in life. He has to do this. His life has to be good. Don't you know? Don't you get it? But you and I don't ask the question, is doing really necessary? If doing is necessary, what kind of doing is necessary? You and I don't ask some fundamental questions. So here, through these three chapters, Krishna is removing the cocoon in which you and I are living. And the cocoon that you and I are living is the karma cocoon. And that karma cocoon looks like this. The karma cocoon. I am the prisoner here. See, is also prison wall. So, and I'm imprisoned here. And because don't think three-dimensionally. Oh, I can easily step out into the third dimension. No, I cannot, because it's a two-dimensional prison. So for the time being, imagine it's a two-dimensional prison. So, and the prison that I have is guarded by these three big locks: aim, action, and fruit. Okay. So I'm first of all bound by the fruit. I'm constantly getting satisfied by the fruit. I'm not even asking, the most fundamental way to unlock this is by asking what I should be doing, or why am I doing whatever I'm doing, which is nothing but the sankalpa, which is nothing but the aim. But I don't ask that question. I'm so caught up, I'm so trained in my mind, I'm so conditioned in my mind to constantly look at the fruit. Success, success, success. Am I being successful? even without the child knowing, the child is already conditioned by the fifth grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. In life, whatever I want, I have to work for it, and only by chocolate, ice cream, life is good. And life has conditioned me to think that a beggar is worthless, and I should not become a beggar. And like that, many societal stories essentially put a deep rooted conditioning that fruit is important. So I first and foremost get deeply conditioned about fruits. I want success in life, and I'm doing only for that. And the aim is find your own purpose in life. Find why you are here in life. The society gives various stories. You have to find your inner longing. So various kinds of poetic phrases are given, and movies are shown where there is a hero struggling, and he really wants to be a boxer, and he figures out, and he becomes a good boxer, and wow, what a nice movie, Rocky. So like that, life is built around becoming something, and success is defined as that. And that question from my uncle lingers: who's really having a successful life? I and my friend, we were going in nice car, living in a nice home. We had all dollars, ding, 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 green dollars. What were we eating? This fellow, a small fellow, struggling to go through a cycle, eating nice food. Who's having a successful life? So these fundamental questions didn't arise, right? If they don't arise, then there is no discussion like this. But once when they arise, is when Krishna is giving us step by step way to come out of this prison. Because I have to first and foremost ask the fundamental question, which is, who is the one who is in the prison? Okay, that's a fundamental question, because there are four things here actually, if you see this prison. This prison, the wonderful nature of this prison is, these three are binding me, this fellow, and the one who is bound is also another important element to understand. So these four elements are the only elements that I and you need to realize in life. If this is realized, who am I? Because this outer triangle is all about doing in life. It's all about doing in life. If you see, aim is what? Something about that is not yet accomplished. I need to accomplish. Action is what? Something that I do towards accomplishing that aim. Fruit is what? Due to my action, either it becomes whatever I aim for, or it doesn't become. It is either success or failure, which is what you and I refer it as. The fruit in any action leads to a fruit. But the fruit may be successful fruit or a failure fruit. But the conditioning is usually to seek only successful fruit. And when the successful fruit doesn't come, this fellow who is inside gets very upset, agitated. I wanted this, it didn't happen. So there is a lot of agitation and turmoil. And that again prompts this fellow to go through that journey again and again, again and again, again and again. And whenever there is a little bit of dosage of success, he becomes very happy. Whenever there is a dosage of failure, he becomes totally upset, miserable.
Even the success leads to a high.
Success
The
leads to
high.
the high, and then the feeling that, oh, this is the high I have to get. So next, okay, so drug addiction is not something very easy to come out of. It's a drug. Karma is a drug. So all these chemicals, no, are the internal fruits through which you and I are bound to this game. Whenever something nice happens, lot of nice hormones are released, nice chemicals are released in the body, and that makes you and I feel, wow, nice. This is what pleasure is. You go and eat chocolate, nice, pleasure. So that pleasure, Nothing wrong in seeking pleasure or having pleasure, but doing is the source of pleasure. I get into that conditioning. Okay, so these are the four things I have to come out of. So when that question really confronts me, Krishna's answer is your liberation, your freedom in life is to find sannyasa from karma. This is the final answer. But karma sannyasa, oh, I have to give up. I have to give up karma. Is how it is also another societal conditioning that comes up. Sannyasa means what? Somebody who has run away from home. Karma means what? See, look at him, simply sitting in ashram, closing his eyes. So, like that, and all various societal conditioning also would have come. So, essentially, Krishna is saying, look, you want to be in yoga. That is what you want. No, what is yoga? Some kind of a state where you are not feeling I lack something. It's something where, pleasure, yoga, right? I want to be one with that mango. I want to be one with that, gold. When you're one with that gold or mango, what happens? That feeling that I'm separated goes away, and when that feeling gets of separatedness goes away, what happens? Ah, nice. That is what you and I call as yoga. That nice feeling. There is some nice feeling. Okay, I want yoga. And for yoga, Krishna is saying, give up karma sannyasa. If you find liberation from karma, then you are in yoga. Okay, so this is the context for this fellow. This is the jail that this fellow is in. This doing jail is this fellow is in. So therefore, he is teaching you and me step by step. First, he taught, look, I don't know what is outside of this dream, but somewhere that feeling has crept in to Siddhartha, right? So therefore, he is now seeking answer. Just like that, you and I are the Siddharthas seeking this mukti, this answer. There's something. Some people seem to be totally at peace. So that is if let's say that is a yardstick, we call it as a divine master. We call it a Sadguru. We call it a liberated person. Okay, compared to him, I seem to be going through ups and downs. So there must be something. So now I also want to be like him. It's also seeking, but it's okay. If that seeking is genuine, then that itself is the path for liberation. Then the first thing that I need to come out of this is I may understand or I may not understand. Actually, my real prison is this. This fellow is the real problem. But to get to this fellow, I have to kind of, depending upon where I am in the journey, I have to travel through this. I have to first dismantle this, I have to dismantle this, I have to dismantle this. When all the three have fallen away, then this fellow can clearly see that this is simply nothing but an illusion. So to see myself as an illusion is a true freedom in life. But to see myself as an illusion, which myself, this me, this individual me who is doing, this individual doer is an illusion, is the fundamental path of freedom, is the fundamental jnana of freedom. But to get there, not in a theoretical way, not in a I know it, I can repeat that statement way, but to feel it. To feel it, these three have to be dismantled. Meaning what? Where they have to be dismantled? These three are deeply impregnated in the mind as conditioning. In the chitta, in my memory. In my memory, it is deeply conditioned. There was an excellent quotation that I received just a couple of days back. And again, it is attributed to Buddha only. And the quotation says, it's a very simple quotation. I'll just put it onto our screen. That way all of us can see. I'm just getting that quotation. Just a moment. Hmm. Okay, so this is a quotation. I'll add it here. That way we can focus on this clearly. Hmm. So this is what the great master is saying. What is the great master saying? Fear is a memory of pain.
Yes.
Addiction is a memory of pleasure.
Mm.
And what is freedom? Freedom is actually beyond both. When I find freedom from fear, when I find freedom from addiction, is freedom. Or in other words, when I realize that I am beyond pain and pleasure, is when I realize real freedom. But where is fear? In the mind. As what? As my memories. It is a fear of what will the society say that makes me do many a times whatever I and you do.
Labeled as a failure.
It is a fear of the failure or the fear of the somebody making fun of me or the fear of the what if. And the other thing is again addiction. Pleasure is from various things in life, is the addiction. And all of this is deeply impregnated in my mind as my memories. And it is this sensation of fear. Oh, if I don't do this, I will be made fun of. That sometimes the fear drives my action. Sometimes I want that because through that I will be able to get pleasure. The pleasure drives my action. So pain and pleasure are driving my action. So pain and pleasure. I want to avoid pain. I want to seek pleasure.
Mm.
In other words, failure is pain. Success is pleasure. Correct? In other words, I'm constantly looking to do action which lead to success. That is a conditioning I've gotten into. And what Krishna is, first of all, therefore, helping you and me to do is to become free from doing something with the expectation of pain or pleasure. Because first and foremost, freedom is beyond pain and pleasure. So therefore, first of all, our success and failure. Because we just now saw pain and pleasure is nothing but success and failure.
Mm.
Success is pleasure, failure is pain. So first of all, I have to find freedom from both. I have to, first of all, stop this tendency of the mind to seek both, or rather, not seek both, to seek one and to avoid another. Seeking one and avoiding another is also a tendency of the mind. So, first of all, I have to come out of that tendency of the mind. So, that is why he first taught us about giving up the fruits of the action. Then comes action itself. So, now when I feel I am doing the action, I have lots of expectation. I have lots of association to the fruit because the fruit, in one sense, is deeply. I want the fruit. I crave the fruit because I am doing the action. I put the effort. Therefore, this fruit is mine. So then, Krishna is helping you and me to realize who is the doer. So that way, the action. I am not the doer. That part has to be realized. Then, what kind of a aim? The aim which is for satisfying this fellow, the sankalpa, or the purpose to satisfy this fellow is always going to lead to this bondage again. So therefore, he is here helping you and me to bring the yagna bhava. So this is the Amar story that our Ishaji mentioned. In the Amar story, Amar is realizing that I have to do anyway to realize who I am truly and to become totally free. But as long as I'm doing this only to be in this jail, which is the story of this Anthony fellow, then I will continue to be revolving in this jail only. So therefore, Amar fellow is asking the fundamental question. So how can I get out of the jail? There is not even a question for these two. This fellow is totally happy here. This fellow doesn't care less. So it is like the tamas. This is like the rajas. This is sattvic. So this fellow has developed sattva guna. How did sattva guna come in the mind? From the tamasic, he had to do efforts to go to rajasic. And from rajasic, he had to develop sattvic qualities in the mind. So as the mind became more and more sattvic, how does the mind become more and more sattvic? By involving oneself in the service activities. Then this loop, it starts loosening its grip on this fellow. Because this fellow is tightly bound in this loop. Very tightly bound in this loop. This cocoon is so tight that he doesn't feel it as anything other than his own body, his own self. It feels very part of him. It is so tightly impregnated into this fellow. So first of all, therefore, through service, this gets dismantled. And as through the service, this gets dismantled. And how to get this dismantled? Right understanding is needed. That is why Krishna is giving jnana about karma, so that the mind is focused on the right thing, which is a Mahavakya that our Shubhaji gave. Whatever I'm doing, I need the right understanding about where to keep my mind, about where to keep my mind focused. My mind has to be focused in the initial stages on serving the others and making sure that whatever I do it for the benefit of the others. May the other benefit. With that purpose, when I do what I do. And to get to that also, there is a right kind of jnana needed. And that is the jnana that Sri Krishna has essentially taught here. That you are not the doer. Everything is divine only. Whatever you're doing is nothing but an offering to the divine. So therefore, you do with that jnana that you are not the doer. Keep offering. With that, the mind develops the quality to reflect, because the tendency of the mind continues to drive you and me towards our vasana. Tendency of the mind, why do I, as soon as I get up, I want to brush, or why do I want to drink coffee, or why do I do something repetitively in my daily activities? If you ask that question, you yourself will find there is a pattern that has developed. You and I have developed a pattern. Are you aware of the pattern? Many a times, you and I are not even aware of the pattern. This itself, this doing itself is a pattern. If you see here, it's a pattern, it's a loop. It's a loop that you and I are constantly involved with. We are not even asking the fundamental question. So as this gets loosened up, then the mind can be in meditation. That is why 6th chapter is Dhyana Yoga. 6th chapter is Jnana Yoga. What is the 6th chapter really about? Dhyana Yoga about? It is to see my higher self. It is to see that this fellow is nothing but a reflection of the divine only. Who I am is that divine. But to see that, I have to quieten my active mind, which is involved in the doing. And to quieten that mind, I have to get involved with service. As I get involved with the service, this mind, which is constantly involved with this loop, loosens its grip on this fellow. And who is this fellow? Can be seen very clearly as nothing but a shadow of this divine. This fellow is nothing but a shadow of this. Whoever you think you are, who's sitting in meditation, is simply a reflection, is simply a shadow of this divine. This has to be seen clearly. That is why then the next step is given, dhyana yoga. Only when I have seen my higher self can I then be taken into seeing the universal self. So that is how Shri Krishna takes you and me gradually down this path of total liberation.
Perfect. Perfect, Ji.
Any additional points anybody wants to make, or any questions are coming?
Mm.
Okay.
Good.
Then shall we end this session, Sarananji?
Yeah, sure.
Hari Om.
Sir,
Yes, yes, Arjunji.
okay, we have covered this in the first chapter in Vishaduga. Yesterday, I was giving a talk in that session. I told that suffering is a boon to mankind.
Okay.
Okay. See, with all this jnana and all emerges because somewhere I am pushed out of my whatever happiness I'm getting in life or whatever I think is happiness, which I have sought in the past, is no more happiness.
Mm.
That's where the whole essence of question that what is this life all about, everything starts.
Correct.
Am I right?
Correct.
So, and once that quest starts, we need a guide to take us through this whole thing. Or I need to seek and get it like Buddha,
Yeah.
or I need to then find a guide like
Yeah.
Arjuna
Yeah.
and get to this state.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the two distinction what I'm getting is one is a theory which I get and I say, oh yeah, what Vijay says is absolutely right. What Prabhuji sir says is absolutely right. Second thing is when I face with the reality to live it.
Yeah.
That is the key crux issue because that means it has not yet become my muscle memory or more like my nature.
Yeah. That is the essential point about vasana.
Ah,
Vasana is the conditioning about how I respond to different situations.
yeah,
The various analogies can be given. As soon as you smell coffee, there is a, oh, I have to have it, may come if you are a coffee person.
correct.
If you're a tea person, that coffee smell will not do anything. So, like that, you and I have developed tendencies in the mind, vasana. So, it is the vasana kshaya that has to happen so that right inquiry can happen to see the reality of who I am.
Absolutely. And today I was reading a wonderful quote by Anthony de Mello. And just I want to share that, which is apt for maybe what you're sharing. wisdom tends to grow in proportion to one's awareness of one's ignorance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once I become aware of that ignorance,
Yeah.
then the wisdom will grow.
Yeah.
You know. So identifying that ignorance, that the fact that this is what I'm in the captive of this jail
Yeah.
of this aim, action, and fruit. That is what is the ignorance, which once I become, then the awareness starts and the wisdom emerges.
Yeah. Yeah. The completeness is felt only when the reality of this fellow is identified, is
Yeah.
realized. So homecoming, the homecoming is when who I am is truly felt. But for the homecoming, this has to be dismantled because the mind is caught up in this. Then only reality of this can be seen. Then only realization that I am this. And when I am this, that is bliss.
Yeah. Like as you're talking about desire and coming out of desire, the whole thing, essence is about desire. And that's what is the thing. So I remember one song of Rajkumar. ಏನೆಂದು ನಾ ಹೇಳಲಿ ಮಾನವನಾಸೆಗೆ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕು ಎಂಬ ಹಠದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕು ಎಂಬ ಛಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರನ್ನು ಪ್ರೀತಿಸನು ಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನನ್ನು ಬಾಳಿಸನು ಜಗದಲ್ಲಿ. That's a beautiful song. And each sentence is amazing, in terms of how we are all caught up with the desire and we are not able to give the desire. you know.
Super.
This fellow is a very um,
Notorious.
notorious notorious
Notorious.
fellow.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever the response that you felt towards that incident, there's nothing wrong with the response that you felt. You have to go and deal with that situation. The only question is, see, whenever there is a situation, you have to act in accordance to the situation, right? So to be a witness conscious or witness consciousness does not mean that in terms of action there is inertness. We have to distinguish between being inert and what is truly witness consciousness mean. Witness consciousness means that I feel the pain completely and there is complete acceptance of that pain because pain is real in that moment. And I am fully in tune with that particular situation and I have no resistance. Witness consciousness also means that that particular pain is a passing cloud. Witness consciousness means that in this particular mind, these kinds of thoughts are arising towards this particular situation. So all of this is also witness consciousness. You're aware. You're aware of that person's pain. You're aware of the legality. You are aware of the humanity. You are aware of what next step can lead to next outcome. And you have to make a choice. So is the choice making leading you to a place where you're uncomfortable making that choice, unable to make that choice? Then the Arjuna Vishada starts. That's the essential problem Arjuna faced. He couldn't make a choice. Should I fight or not fight?
Sir, many times it is not even looking at the consequence. It's also choosing between what is dharma and adharma. What's appropriate and
Very
appropriate.
simple. You know what is dharma in that particular moment. Nobody has to come and give you any teaching.
immaterial of the outcome or the context, consequence.
What
I
would
choose.
you have expected anybody else to do to you if you were in that situation?
Exactly.
Right? So therefore, dharma is very clear, very known. But because of the framework of the society, it gets muddled up. Prabhuji was going to Mount Kailash, and some elderly person suddenly fell ill. He had to be immediately taken back, and he would miss Mount Kailash. Prabhuji simply came back with that person. That was his Mount Kailash.
Hmm. Correct. Absolutely.
Shall we end, Sarvanji?
Sure.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.